blinking.
Yep, it's blinking. Oh,
Joe Namath.
yeah, let's blame Joe Namath. Looks like we're about to. Let's see. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
You're gonna have to heavily edit this one.
Yeah, this will be fun.
I may have to. I may have to do a new intro too. So it shows that we're live, but it shows that it ended at the same time. So
I actually think this is one of the best segments we've ever had. To be honest with
great.
you, I actually think we should keep it going and not edit it. And do a little behind the scenes of when the internet went out.
All right, we're back.
We are back live. Hey,
all
we're
right.
back.
So yeah.
Well, if you
guys are in for a treat.
If you were
live.
not live on YouTube, you missed the absolute greatest segment that we've ever had.
That was great.
In our
Although we have now started
14
a new
years
stream,
of
so
doing a
that's fun.
podcast. That was the greatest insight either myself, Doug, or Cody have ever had, and you're gonna miss it.
I know. I can't even do it
forever.
again. It's like it's like writing "My Heart Goes On" by Celine Dion. It's like I had it in that moment. The song of the Titanic, the song of our generation.
Sure.
And I created it on the spot, but of course the internet went out. So
Are we gonna get a remake of Titanic?
No, never. God, no. Why would they ever do that?
Leo looks the same.
Why would they ever? Why? Why?
He's probably using,
Because
it'll make money.
Because
you're right.
there's not a lot of original ideas and we just rehash everything. So like,
Here's the thing.
I feel we're at the time where Titanic remake. It's time.
If it happens, it doesn't happen under old Big Jim Cameron's watch. I'll tell you that much. That man is in Pandora for the rest of his life. He's lost in Pandora.
Jim.
Yeah, Big James Cameron. Big Jim is what I call him. The man doesn't miss.
What? Okay.
He throws nothing but fastballs.
Okay. And
If we're going to go into this before we get into this week of the hobby.
And I'm going to
truly.
be like, okay, Titanic. And I'm going to.
All right.
What else?
Okay.
What are you going to.
Terminator.
Well, I was gonna say Leo probably puts that stuff on his face. We were talking about.
He's
off air.
staying young.
He
also
looks good.
doesn't date under 24, so
It keeps you young.
youthful, I guess.
Keeps you youthful.
He's like Matthew McConaughey. He gets older, they get younger.
Yeah, well,
they stay the
Stay
same.
the same age. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
I was going to say, hold up. Now.
I gotta
I'm
figure
in
that
trouble
out.
here.
I had to figure that out as well.
You got Terminator.
Avatar.
You got Avatar.
I knew it was going to be Avatar. Did
You
anybody
got The Way of Water.
And I know it was
Even
gonna,
better.
I was going to piss you off. Did anybody really like Avatar? I knew Cody was going to be like.
Okay, here's what I say.
I fell asleep.
First one, I was like, this is fine. Didn't see it in 3D, which everyone was like, why did you see it in 3D? You did yourself a disservice.
You don't go see a movie in 3D.
Wait. People were like, why didn't you see it in 3D?
That was because, remember, 2009, this was a different time. Everyone was like, watch it in 3D. It's the greatest movie experience you'll ever had. People were going nuts for it. That's why it made so much money. Second one comes around, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it right this time. I'm going to see it in IMAX. I'm going to see it in 3D. And a transformative cinematic experience. I swear to God. It's really... And then I watched it at home, and I'm like, this movie holds up. This movie's great. Aliens, True Lies, Titanic. Doesn't miss.
I just went to the movie theaters on Saturday.
And Judgment Day. Of course, Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Did you watch Beetlejuice in 3D?
No, not an option.
Careful now.
No.
Beetlejuice.
Careful now. Don't say it again.
I want to see Michael Keaton come in this room. No, I literally this time I went literally full fat boy. I mean, I had nachos, I had popcorn, and if you buy the large popcorn, you got to dump it out into another bin and then go get another refill. So, granted, there's 4 of us. It wasn't 2 popcorns for me, and then I snuck in a high noon. So I was living my life. I couldn't imagine trying to put some freaking 3D glasses on when I'm trying to relax with my high noon and my popcorn.
Don't they sell alcohol at theaters?
A lot of places do now.
They do, yeah.
But you can.
A lot of places do.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm going to pay $38 for one there, or I can go get one from my local.
That's true.
I
went the first time I just saw the new Alien, and I did have a beer, and.
Did you sneak it in?
No, I got it from the bar because I wasn't like. I'll say this: this was a rare solo movie theater endeavor. I just was and
a beer.
The wife and son were out and doing other things. I couldn't join them for the weekend, so I was like, you know what? I have a free Friday. I'm going to watch a movie by myself and
get drunk
and have a beer. Why not?
I like it.
It's fun.
I like it. I have not. I think I've talked about this. I have not gone to a movie theater. Probably since 2018.
Yes.
They had 3D TVs?
I had a buddy who has a 3D capable TV. And we watched like one movie on there.
Yeah,
and it was
they
not
had 'em.
great.
They had them.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Oh, that's right. You had to have that special
Remember?
glasses.
Yeah, ESPN.
I want to say it was a Sony TV.
Yes, and ESPN was so bought into it so much they released ESPN 3D. People don't remember this. They had I think they debuted it for like a home run derby, and we're like, this is going to be an option for football season. You're going to watch NFL games and college football and NBA games in 3D, and no one cared.
Well, the problem with that is you're like, cool, hey, you guys want to come over to my house to watch the game? And then you're like, I got 12 people. I got to have 12. I got to buy 12 3D glasses.
I think the Sony glasses were like $50 a piece.
Yeah, I don't think they were.
Yeah,
I think they were more than that.
They were expensive.
And the TV was insanely priced.
Yeah, it was. It was like when we bought that Sharp TV for $2,000.
I still got it.
You still have it?
Still have it.
I guess it was worth it.
It's in my guest room.
We paid like $2,500 for a 42-inch TV.
It's a great TV.
Flat screen.
Still works. I mean, it's heavy. I mean, it's a flat screen, but it's a flat screen that weighs like probably 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Now you get.
We split it. We were making payments on it.
Wow.
Now you get TVs and they're like, I don't know, 86 inches and they weigh like 13 pounds.
And they're the same, half the price of that TV as well.
But the TV's built like a tank, man.
So yeah, no Fanatics Fest in September at PNC Park, which is Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, the
Okay,
beautiful park in Pittsburgh.
It is beautiful. It's nice
Never
right on the
been
water
there,
there.
but it looks nice.
Orlando show is going on, so that's cool. And they just came out, I guess, March 25th to the 28th in LA.
It was the 28th through the 30th.
Yes, you remember that one specifically? Yeah, it just dropped on. I got a TikTok notification, so it looks like it's going to be at the Los Angeles Convention Center.
Huge convention.
March 28th through the 30th. Fanatics Fest is coming to LA, so
All right.
they have Travis Scott, Lil Wayne in the little posts here. I don't know if they're going to be there for sure.
Lil
but-
Wayne, who after getting spurned by the NFL in the Super Bowl, as a lot of people are putting out there right now, after with this Kendrick Lamar halftime show announcement.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
but-
it's all respect to Lil Wayne, there was a moment, he was the biggest. It ain't 2008, it ain't 2009 anymore.
No.
Just isn't.
No.
You know.
Millie is how old now?
I was gonna say.
Wait a second. There's so many people that they can get in LA. Where's Snoop?
No, we're talking about the Super
New
Bowl.
Orleans. So they're
Oh.
getting Kendrick Lamar.
But-
They announced that.
Oh, I thought we were
the
talking about
first Sunday.
Fanatics.
We
Oh, no,
we
no,
jump
come
we
on.
jump real quick.
I'm
We're-
all,
I
I'm
know.
all
That's
Snoop,
all.
Snoop Dogg better be at the Fanatic Fest.
That feels like a safe bet. Snoop Dogg at Fanatics Fest feels like as safe a
100%.
bet as you can.
100%.
Look, the man is busy. I know he's probably already prepping for Olympics 2028 after his, should be Emmy-winning coverage of the Olympics here.
Dude, 420 Club in Fanatics Fest.
Yeah, who needs the
420 Club.
get
I mean,
that going.
70% of the staff will want to go then, but you know what I'm saying?
I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot more north than 70%.
Like 90%.
It might be more like 99%.
Just 1 out of 40.
Look, we're in the Bay Area.
We are, yeah. But I mean, 420 Club. just you're going to be getting contact high walking around there. You're going to be like, I'm going to go play the little hockey game and hit it into the little washer and dryer thing, and I'm going to get high while I'm doing it.
And I'm going to get some Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's what life's all about. So David Adams has put out a $100K bounty on the Lou Gehrig Superfractor Retrofractor. What do you think that car would go for on its own? If it was a Superfractor?
About 15 grand.
Yeah, it's probably a safe bet. God, Adam must really love these super retro fractors.
Is Lou Gehrig the only one in Bowman Chrome, or is it
Sandy
Sandy
Koufax.
Koufax?
Sandy Koufax
So
as well.
where's the bounty on Sandy Koufax?
Right.
Well, that's for you to decide, Dan. How much you paying for it? Mojobreak will put a $5,000 bounty on the Sandy
Sandy.
Koufax.
I think we.
Yeah.
I think
Your move,
I think-
DA.
I think somebody might come out a little bit higher than 5K, but
$6K.
I
Let's go $6K.
I would have started like $900.
It seems the trend is they go. Yeah, there you go. It seems the trend is they go for one like very old school classic baseball player, and one like more in the modern era, more like just like right around expansion era.
When did and this is a great question for Cody. When did Sandy Koufax make his debut? Roughly, you don't have to give me the exact year. I'm going with the fact: is there a Brooklyn Dodger possibility on this card, or is it going to be Los Angeles Dodgers?
I don't think he was ever in Brooklyn.
I don't think so
either.
But I do think that he came up
I'm curious.
not long after they moved.
No, he was probably their first LA superstar.
62.
I am wrong.
63. Look at that.
55. He makes his debut. He only pitches 12 games, but he plays 3 years in Brooklyn.
So is that a Brooklyn Dodger card?
That's a Brooklyn Dodger card.
It's got to be because it's going to be his rookie year, right?
That's sick.
That's pretty cool, actually.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
They can go back over there, too.
But he threw 100 innings in his third year at 21, and then they moved to L.A. He becomes the Sandy Koufax.
He really came into his
Yeah,
own.
he does. That's
Man, 100 innings for a starting pitcher back then was practically nothing.
It's nothing. You're basically
10
a relief
games.
pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they have relief pitchers
Crazy.
back then?
What a ride for Koufax. Where I don't think you think of him as he had a short stint, so you think all of it's probably the greatest. Every year must be great.
He didn't play that long.
No, didn't play. Only 12 years. And only pitched in 397 career games, which is still a lot for a 12-year career. But it's not till he's 26, or 1961, he starts to turn it around. But then doesn't have an ERA under 3 until 1962.
So
When he's in his
12
8th year.
The left arm of God is his nickname.
12 years for Koufax. Obviously a Hall of Famer, right? Yeah, first ballot, he was Hall of Famer.
He was first ballot.
No doubt. Being a homer, Tim Lincecum
I know.
pitched about the same amount of time, maybe 10 years.
You're right, 10 years.
Maybe 12 if you want to include the Angels years. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Not going to get any consideration for the.
Already fell off the ballot.
No, really.
I believe so.
Well,
Already off the ballot.
maybe we can get him to the 420 club.
Only, well, yeah.
Oh,
that'd be awesome.
the Grand Marshal.
The difference, I think the difference being,
Let Timmy smoke.
So 6 seasons of just pure dominance from Koufax versus 4 for Lincecum. And the fall off is a lot harder.
I mean,
how many Cy Youngs for Lincecum?
2.
2 Cy Youngs, 3 championships.
Yep. 3 Cy Youngs for Koufax and one MVP as well.
2 no-hitters for Lincecum, right?
Lincecum, and I want to say Koufax is the same.
Well, how many wins does Koufax have, though?
He's got 165. Lincecum has 110. So, I mean, yeah, it's.
But for Lincecum just to fall off the ballot, 1 year and done?
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
And he was Sandy was first ballot, 86% of the vote. So, is this a dumb question? Who's more iconic, Gehrig or Koufax? If we're speaking about Bowman Chrome retrofractors,
Lou Gehrig.
Yeah, I still think it's. I think it's still Gehrig. Gehrig also the myth of Lou Gehrig is, I think, what carries it to. The fact that he did what he did, the true Iron Man, the Iron Horse. And then having the disease, having that iconic speech, then it's immortalized in a movie that even now, it's still an indelible baseball moment. And it's been, 80 years?
career batting average 340. That's insane.
80 years.
Something like that. Gotta be, right?
Yeah, he passed away in 41.
Yeah.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I know. We were all there.
So, yeah, I mean, we were talking about obviously, I guess maybe we could see why David Adams picked Lou Gehrig, I guess, But, I mean, Koufax, I might up the ante here. So, we'll do a $7K bounty, and we'll give you the Mojobreak VIP treatment. 20 blaster boxes of your choice. Come down to the shop, special VIP. Shane will give you a shoulder massage.
Oh, boy. Well, I think I'm out.
And then 20 blasters. Okay? That's the VIP. Because you hear Jeff Wilson saying he's going to give you the Cards HQ special treatment. That's what we got.
Yep.
And some Senor's pizza.
I was going to say, you can't have the Mojobreak experience without the Senor's pizza. You can't have it.
I mean, it's kind of the best we got.
Yep.
It's kind of the best we got here.
Yep.
It is. That Mountain Mike's, which I made the decision. So if you guys didn't see on social media, with the big Jets-Niners game on Monday, we had Gary V in studio. We did a break with him on Fanatics Live. Breaking Beef Run Series 1.
It's like
And it was a great experience. But in the snap of the moment, Dan had suggested tacos. No one planned for the tacos to be there. So I'm there at 10:30, and I'm like, well, these guys, they might be bringing 9 guys. We've got 20 guys here. Like, what do I do? So I order Senor's Pizza. But then, people coming from New York, they're probably like over pizza.
Pizza
right?
is the easy choice. I mean, it's quick. It feeds a lot of people very quickly and easily.
we should have gone Taco Bell.
I was
Just
going to
go
say,
Taco Bell.
is that the equivalent? What's the Mexican food capital of the world?
I mean,
San Diego?
Mexico.
Mexico. I'd go.
Where can you get the best Italian food?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably.
Wichita?
Probably Italy.
So the move that I did, is this the move that I did with the fellow New,
All right,
with these New Yorkers?
Maybe you mean
New Yorkers,
domestically.
Was that like me
I
bringing?
get what you mean.
Was that like me bringing Taco Bell to Mexico? Was that the same move?
It's not, maybe not far off. Maybe not far off. But yeah, if you're, in California, that is actually a legit question. In California, where's the best Mexican food you can get?
Probably. I think it
San Diego.
I mean,
San
it is
Diego's
very
good.
in Northern California. It's very, 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 very good. I do feel it gets a little bit better
The further
the
south.
further south you go.
yeah.
But granted,
Although-
you are getting closer
Yes.
to its origin.
It's true.
That is Mexico.
Yeah, I will say a fish taco in San Diego does hit a little different. I will say that.
does.
By the way, John in the chat saying part of the experience, share kombucha with Dan.
Oh yeah.
God, I haven't seen this man drink a kombucha forever.
I know, but
Hey,
it
man.
was like a
Every day.
staple of the show for a long time.
It was, and I mean, I still like a little booch, but I've cut back. There's a lot of sugar in it.
There is a lot of sugar.
It's a lot of sugar. So that's why I'm not rocking the booch anymore.
So, yeah, if you guys are getting into Bowman Chrome, you can use code Chrome24 on Mojobreak.com. Maybe you can get the Yankees and get that Lou Gehrig Retro Fractor Super Fractor and sell it to David Adams for $100K. I mean, that's a pretty good experience. But moving along, the MJ Star rookie PSA 9 sells privately for $1 million to some idiot. So, but don't know why somebody would spend $1 million on that, but they did. And, the legend of the star, Michael Jordan, non-rookie, lives on.
I like how it's a private sale. Like there's like no proof of this. Like,
you bought it from me.
I had one. I sold it to Doug. He gave me $1 million.
Doll
and
hairs.
Now that is that's the new comp. It's new comp. So if anybody's sitting on about 400 of those, they're pretty excited. They got $400 million now.
Well, I mean, most people probably threw them away. That's probably why there's a low pop, because they're like, why would I have this card of him boxing somebody out?
I think we have to just move on because like
We're just gonna get in trouble.
I think
need
we
any
already
more.
pissed off those star people. They don't even tune into the show anymore anyway.
Look, here's the thing.
I need comments, dude.
The thing is this, too. Like, don't be mad at us anymore. You won. Good for you. You're
Yeah.
the winner. Congrats.
We're just all bitter.
We're all legitimizing it. Don't get mad at us anymore. But also, if 12 months passes by and suddenly the prices tank here, then we get to do a victory lap and say, see, we told you so.
I just don't like the photo.
Yeah, it's just,
I just don't like the photo.
yeah.
The 86 Fleer photo for Jordan is that is a better photo.
It is.
It is.
It's a better
100%.
card. What is the highest Fleer sale on record right now? I should have looked this up. but-
No, there's a private sale.
Yeah, there was
last
a-
week.
yeah.
10 million.
It was 22 million. Nobody will ever hear about it because it was private. So comps now, 22 mil.
That's
That's,
what we need.
Well, I can tell you when I look up on Google, and maybe this is Google just needs to fix itself. The star card comes up when I Googled the phrase "highest Fleer Jordan rookie sale."
Yeah.
Star comes up.
Cool.
So again, you win.
Well,
Congrats.
Whatever.
You did. You won. You did it.
I wasn't really. I didn't really. I don't. Funny thing is, I don't. I mean, we do owe we own a couple 86 Jordan rookies. We don't have a star rookie.
Yeah, I might have a different opinion.
Yeah,
I might like it.
So if you
Someone
want
wants to send me one.
if you want to gift me one, maybe I'll fight the fight for you going forward.
Yeah,
maybe I'll be a big fan. Maybe I got to see it in person. Maybe all the photos I've seen over the years.
Not flattering.
I mean, we had somebody at Fanatics Fest come up that had one, and it was autographed. It was slabbed, so I'm assuming it was legit. Came up to me at the straight face, and he's like, I'm only taking 7-figure offers.
Oh. And he thought you were the guy to sell it to?
Well, that's where that was my first thought process. Where I was like, me, huh? Mr. Star?
Yeah.
Mr. Star. And plus, like, yeah, I got a millies just like coming out of me everywhere. Like, come on.
Can't contain it.
And then he came back again. And he brought it up later on that day, and I'm like, am I getting trolled right now? Am I getting trolled?
Probably. So looks like we've got you're pumping the 86 Fleer.
Yeah, you better believe it.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pump and dump.
I mean,
so we got 2024 Score Football along with Bowman Chrome that released today, and Spectra Basketball as well. Very interesting on the Score. I just learned today that there's not a single Caleb Williams card in the sets. So I immediately thought, okay, well, yeah, there's probably not going to be Jaden Daniels, but there is. I just found it on eBay. So there's Jaden Daniels cards. There's also J.J. McCarthy.
How about Marvin Harrison?
Yep. Well, here's the thing. I'm assuming he's going to be in there because they have him in the Trick or Treat sets. So that's the only thing I could see on eBay is the 2024 Score a Treat Black Candy SP to 99, which is just a picture of Marvin Harrison's face. So, good smile too. He's just like he's probably thinking, "Oh, if only Kyler could have saw me when I was wide open for 40."
It's
yards.
it's the kind of the throwback to the Barry Sanders.
Kind of, yeah. So I don't know if like there's like an NIL deal like in place where it prevented Caleb Williams from being in the set. We knew that he wasn't going to have an autograph, but if it's just the Fanatics guys, then Jaden Daniels shouldn't be in it either. So I'm super confused.
Well, it's confusing going forward for the 2024 products because like does that mean when Prism comes out, is there no Caleb Williams?
Right.
Does that mean when Optic comes out, there's no Caleb Williams?
Unless, it's a deal, because if you see the sell sheet here on the on Panini's website, they have the team name, but it's in the college uniform. So I'm looking at a Rome Ondunze, who I just dropped on my fantasy team, by the way. Bears. It says Bears, but he's in his Washington. Is that Washington?
That's Washington.
His Washington uni. Same thing with Jordan Travis. Same thing with J.J. McCarthy. Adonai Mitchell has an autograph showing the Texas. So they have the collegiate license, but maybe because he's an NIL guy, maybe he signed a deal to not. He signed an exclusive deal for his collegiate photos.
I will say, I mean, we can sit here and debate this and try to figure out what. It's a strange player to not have on the checklist.
It's tough. Yeah. I mean, and we as breakers without a checklist in advance, we're pricing out the Bears assuming he has. We knew he didn't have autographs. We know that, but we didn't know that he didn't have any cards. I mean, luckily there is still Roman Dunze, which I know I dropped from my fantasy team, but I would still buy the Bears for him. He's still in there. If you look at Panini's website, they're like key athletes, right? Legends: Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, Eric Dickerson, Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson. Rookies: Roman Dunze, Brian Thomas, Michael Penix, Ladd McConkey, and Terrion Arnold. So no mention of J.J. McCarthy, even though he does have images of his cards.
Or Daniels.
Or Daniels, yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that. But J.J. McCarthy clearly has autos in the sets. I see those on eBay.
And so will Penix, right?
Penix should have autos.
Should have autos as well. So very confusing times here on why we don't have Caleb Williams in Score Football. But Jaden Daniels is definitely in the set.
LSU?
It looks no W. No, they have a Commander's helmet. They have a Commander's helmet on that one.
Jersey. I mean,
it is LSU, but maybe they don't have the.
Is there a possibility that they didn't have a photo for Caleb Williams that they can use, or they didn't have, because you know how with the collegiate license you have to have the license with the individual school. Is there a chance that they didn't have a USC license?
Could be. I know Michael Rubin's daughter went to USC, so he may have bought like the rights to USC. I don't know. I think Caleb Williams was announced as an exclusive athlete before his senior year.
But he still is in the Players Association, which
right. So
Panini has a license for the Players Association. So like, I don't understand why he wouldn't have. I actually think it might have to do with the fact that they didn't have a photo that they can use.
I think you're right because I think they start making Score probably after the draft, right?
Yeah.
So before rookie photo shoot, because there isn't any rookie photos in here. They use the collegiate photos. They don't have a photo they could use legally. So now that there's been some preseason games of Caleb, they probably had photographers out there.
Now, couldn't you think that they can take an LSU photo and just Photoshop a Bears jersey on? They've done it before. Not with a rookie, but they've done it with players that have changed teams.
I don't know. You're right. They did it in the whole pandemic here. All those were photoshopped. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know why there's no explanation on why there's no Caleb Williams in Score, and we probably won't have one from Panini. So it's very strange.
Like I said, it's a strange player to leave off your checklist.
I mean, he only had 95 yards passing, and didn't look very good, but they did win.
Number one pick. No, I'm
not saying you shouldn't have him in there, but I'm saying he didn't really kill it on Sunday.
I don't think that they basically saw his stat line for Sunday and were like, take him out of the product.
It's already shipped.
I know the product comes out on Wednesday, but take him out of the product. And if they did that, they probably would have done it for Will Levis as well.
Oh God, I know. Oh, well, 2024 products, 2023 products.
2023. Maybe if they can get a Panini instant of him just on his knees with his hands on his head after the interception.
But that is the funny thing. I think Conrad brought this up in our Slack channel, and I got to look this up too on the Caleb Williams front. I think he had a Panini Instant card. So in a Bears unit.
Are we talking like right after the draft?
Right there, 2024 Panini Instant preseason. So maybe they make these a lot faster. Maybe is what I'm thinking. Maybe Score was already in the works and they couldn't get the photo.
Or they came out with that card and they got a little pushback and they got in trouble, and it was like, all right, before we can like start putting him in other products, we have to kind of take care of this situation.
Or they have
I don't
to.
know. I mean, we're speculating. Maybe let's just go down saying it. I mean, there's a photo right there. They could use that photo.
Was he at the rookie photo shoot? Wasn't he? I thought he.
Yeah, but I don't think Panini's
right?
allowed to. I think it's different now.
Right.
Different times. They maybe can't use the photo because he isn't exclusive to Fanatics. I don't know. So the preseason was obviously a preseason photo.
But it's tricky. Like, you can be an exclusive of Fanatics, but you're still a part of the Players Association. So what trumps what here? So if you're an exclusive to a manufacturer, then the Players Association license doesn't matter. And why is he the only player?
Right. Yeah, a lot of questions that aren't answered yet, but we will see.
It's weird and wacky stuff, man.
It is. It's very strange.
Strange times.
But Bowman Chrome, let's move on to some Bowman Chrome talk here. Prospect chases early for Bowman Chrome is Leo DeVries, obviously the number one guy that everybody's going after from shortstop from San Diego. Paulino Santana, outfielder from the Rangers. Jose Perdomo, another name from the Braves shortstop. Fernando Cruz from the Cubs. I did pull Fernando Cruz today. Giovanni Rodriguez from the Mets. Dawel Joseph from Seattle. Dauber de los Santos from Minnesota. Adolfo Sanchez from Cincinnati. And Adriel Rainey. And that's the funny thing about Bowman Chrome is who we're talking about today is maybe not who we're talking about in 2 years when we look back. In 2016, we were never talking about Juan Soto. Nobody knew who Juan Soto was. We were talking about Vlad Guerrero and maybe a little bit of Tatis just because of the connection with their fathers. And then 2 years later, Juan Soto's playing for the Padres, killing it, and everybody's like, "Did you pull a Juan Soto?" So Bowman Chrome is one of those products where baseball is different from football and basketball, where you pretty much know Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison. These guys are probably going to be the guys. I mean, Brock Purdy happens every once in a while, but for the most part, right away if these guys are going to be good or not. Where Bowman, it could be 4 years, and then you go back and you find, go through your stack, and you're like, I did pull that auto. So that's the beauty of it. But Cody has a little breakdown of that with guys. Are these guys that are all like failed?
So these are not necessarily. It's kind of a mixed bag here. It's guys who it kind of plays to your point of like you don't know. This is the true unknown with especially Bowman Chrome. It's one thing with Bowman. Like Bowman, they usually pack it with a few guys there where like these are top of the line prospects or they were the number 1 pick the year before. Bowman draft, it's all guys who were just drafted. They're more known entities. Chrome is really like all the international guys in a few years where they're like, oh, we couldn't get their auto in, so let's throw it into Bowman Chrome. So I did look back at the last few years of who are the sort of the success stories. And so it started with 2020. You got Michael Harris, his first auto, I believe. I don't think it's his first Bowman card, but his first auto is in there. He's turned out to be a great player. After that, it gets a little tough. Isak Paredes, he's an all-star. I'm not going to say that his market's on fire, though.
Who?
Isak Paredes.
Okay.
Chicago. Now
Looks
like
Isaac. It looks like Isaac.
It's, yes, but yeah, I found out. Oh,
it's
that's
pronounced Isak?
Isak.
Well, he needs to change the spelling of his name.
Good player. He's a good player, and he's like 25. And
There's when we were polling those, there's 0% chance we were saying
we were all
Isak.
saying Isaac.
There's 0%.
Definitely saying Isaac. Luis Angel Acuna, he's not up yet, but still, people are high on him.
On hell. He's on hell.
Oh,
Acuna.
thank you. On hell. Pardon me.
It could be Angel.
Could be.
Or Angelic.
I think it's cool if it's Angel.
Definitely. We didn't know it was Isak. I'm going to go on hell.
I'm going to say that, too.
I'm going to go on hell.
Byron Laura, remember him?
Huge Rangers prospect, yeah.
He hasn't played baseball in 2 years.
Taking some time off?
He's
What's DV
probably,
charges?
Yeah, he had some, apparently some off-the-field issues.
What's DV stand for?
Domestic violence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's done. He's apparently Rangers cut him and he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Hopefully you sold that card.
2021, Luis Rodriguez, the man that C-Rad is like Auto Pen, Mr. Auto Pen. This man apparently spent too much. Yes, allegedly. He spent too much time perfecting his autograph because he is no longer playing professional baseball. He was released in August from the Dodgers organization.
If he would have just put a little LR, maybe he would have succeeded in baseball.
Maybe sometimes now it kind of does put it in perspective.
He isn't even that old.
No. But they cut. Now he may get another chance.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He may get another chance.
It's not over.
Buy low, baby.
And it's the Dodgers. He did not play beyond high A ball. He posted a 554 OPS this season. They cut him.
The Dodgers, like their roster, their major league roster and minor, they're stacked. They probably looked and they're like,
we're good.
You could just go somewhere else.
I mean,
You can go to San Francisco.
They are
there.
there.
Their system.
They are definitely like that, where they're like, I don't know, we just don't have room.
Well, yeah, like you're a good ball player, but we like greatness.
Right.
Yeah.
Brian Ramos was a big chase in 2021 for the White Sox. He's in the majors. That's about the most I could say. He's in the majors on the White Sox, though, so grain of salt.
Worst team in history?
Probably. We're getting there.
To be fair, though, I bet you one of their teams in their organization could beat the major league team.
That's a good question. Could they at this point? I mean, they've been stacking up a lot of young talent. Where are the White Sox? I just have to check before we keep going.
Like 117 losses.
They're
at
114 losses with about 3 weeks left in the season.
They're bad. Like
and
I've been extremely critical of the Giants this year because like they just
it's mediocrity.
Yeah, perfect.
Hey, Grant
perfect
McCray.
mediocrity.
Grant
right?
McCray.
I'm digging Grant McCray right now.
But it could be worse. You can be a White Sox fan.
Yeah, you can say. I mean, heck, who's the second worst team in baseball? They're it could be worse.
Maybe the A's.
The Marlins are
the A's have been on a run.
Worst. A's kind of like A's can hit. They actually guess who they're playing next? The Oakland A's, and the A's will probably sweep them.
White Sox.
Yeah, the White Sox are playing the A's next. So the A's are 63 and 82. They are still 30 games better than the White Sox.
That's not a good record, Cody.
No, it's not. It's not.
Well, they're ahead of the
They're
Angels.
20 games under 500, and they're still 30 games better than the White Sox. They're bad. Couple other guys. Christopher Morel is a good player, but again, not going to sell it. Ezekiel Tovar, I think, is super underrated. Yeah. Well, now Rays. Actually, the aforementioned Isak Paredes was traded to the Cubs for Christopher Morel and a couple other guys.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ezekiel Tovar, I think, is a very underrated, very good player for the Rockies. But if that's the main guy,
oh, he's in the league though.
he's in the league.
He's legit.
He's legit.
He's legit.
I think he's low key.
They're a bad team, but he is a good ball player.
Low key, I think he's all-star caliber and could be a guy for a long time with the Rockies. But if that is the main guy you have to hang your hat on, 2021 was a little tough.
It's also tough when it is the Rockies.
Yeah.
Like the Rockies in prospecting. Can you name a Rocky
who's made it
that basically was the main focal point of any Bowman release?
Ooh.
That like was the main guy that you're chasing. There's guys who like
Josh Rutledge. Russell Wilson.
Maybe not the main guy, but was Brendan Rodgers a pretty big chase?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, but probably he might have been like a top 5, but he didn't.
That's the best
he didn't sell as much as like a lot of the other guys.
No,
that's true.
And Arenado was kind of slept on to start, and then things picked up.
Yeah,
So
Arenado, a Hall of Famer.
He's getting there. He's close.
Paul Goldschmidt, a Hall of Famer.
Both guys are kind of in the same camp, where it's
Joey
like
Votto.
They're both close.
Joey Votto should be
he's a Hall of Famer. I think when you look at the counting numbers aren't there, but the percentage numbers, his batting average is over 300. Yeah, he's good. He's really good. Keep going on 2022. This might be like your best case scenario of the recent years. I think it's still like why Bowman Chrome has so much allure of like the unknown because of the years where it was like Acuna, Soto, Tatis, Vlad Jr., like boom, 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 boom.
But that's like we're going on 9 years now, though.
I know.
Like literally.
So 22 though is where people can say it can still happen. There's some guys where they're like, yeah, Christian Vaquero hasn't happened yet. There's a couple other guys, and the Yasser Mercedes isn't yet, but he's still young. But you have Jackson Chourio, first autos of Jackson Merrill. You've got Gavin Stone, who's turning into a really good player. You got Brady House, who's still about a year away, but has made the climb up through the minor league. Sedani Rafaela has become very good. There's a lot of big guys. I mean, just Chourio and Merrill alone is the selling point. And then 23, it's still pretty much too early to tell, but kind of gives you an idea of like it can be a mixed bag, but also how fun it can be where it's like there's a few names there where nobody was chasing initially, and they've become probably the best guys in the product.
Yeah, and you guys got to keep in mind, I wish there was a way to sort better on eBay because you're looking at the year, and I'm sure a lot of newbies make the same mistake where it's like, 2017 Bowman Chrome, I can get Acuna. No, he's in 2017 Bowman, but the auto is Chrome auto, so people are going to put 2017 Bowman Chrome rookie auto or Bowman Chrome auto. So you kind of get like, you get confused as a collector because there is 3 releases. At least with draft, it does say draft.
But they all have Chrome cards that are Bowman that are like
the same design too.
Draft, it's the same design. So Bowman, like there's going to be Bowman Chrome draft cards. There's going to be Bowman Chrome Bowman flagship. There's going to be Bowman Chrome cards. So it is very confusing. It also, I think Dylan Cruz does have autos in this product.
I believe so.
Yeah, but not
but it's not his first.
Correct. So that's confusing too. So I mean,
and it's actually the same year.
The draft you have less confusion because if they include draft in the title, it's out of Bowman draft. So you're a little bit more clear cut on that.
But if you look on eBay, a lot of the times they don't.
Right.
Like it won't be in the title where it says Bowman draft. It'll probably say Bowman Chrome autograph.
Yep.
And a lot of times it doesn't say draft or it doesn't say. It definitely wouldn't say flagship. It would just say Bowman Chrome because it is a Bowman Chrome card.
Best thing to do is how I put this list together is I've got Bowman like flagship checklist in one tab, Bowman Chrome checklist in the other tab, cross reference. Like, I think this was a first Bowman in this one. Just want to check they didn't have a first Bowman in Bowman because there can be a lot of confusion.
But you know what? My biggest bone to pick with Bowman Chrome now that we've had a few years of this, and this year it's even more glaring. We need to make HT. So just to give you guys a little background story. Hobby is 2 mini boxes, 6 packs in each, so 12 packs in the box with 5 cards in a pack. So you get 60 cards a box with 2 autos. Choice, 3 autos. That's it.
3 cards.
3 cards, 3 autos.
3 cards.
So we're talking about the Gehrig Retrofractor Superfractor. Not going to be in choice. GPK, which surprisingly people love, not going to be in the choice. The Bowman Ascensions, not going to be in choice. The stained glass, not going to be in choice. Like, we need to take the Topps Chrome Delight with the 10 cards and do it that way. Because we need to have, like, 7 base cards that are all refractors and the 3 autos. Like, I'm not saying that the choice is bad. It's if you're just off the autos, that's fine. But, like, when people are trying to decide, oh, well, I'll buy the Yankees, but wait, I can't get the Garrick, I can't get the Gladiators insert, I can't get the GPK, it starts to be kind of like, well, that kind of sucks. Plus, if you're doing like 3-box mixer of choice, it's 9 cards. You know what I'm saying? And you do 3 boxes of hobby, that's 180 cards. So it just, and that's why we're mixing it in on a lot of these breaks. But, like, would it kill them to put like 7 more cards in there and make it like the Topps Chrome Delight? Like, this is what happens when we start catering products to breakers, when it needs to be the fastest effing rip of all time.
Stupid breakers.
And we never wanted it this way. We've been asked to, should we make Ginter a ripper product? No. Keep it the same way that it's been. Like, we don't need less cards. Like, we need more cards because we need people that are going to buy into these breaks to have more chances at something.
You need more value. And, like, we go out of our way, manufacturers go out of the way to create these chase cards, to create, like, these garbage pail kids. GPK, not CPK. Not to be confused with
not
to be confused with California Pizza
And
Kitchen.
it all comes back to pizza.
It does. Circle back around.
CPK still a thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's great.
I have not been.
I wouldn't go
Valley
straight
Fair.
to
Do they
Gray.
have it at Valley Fair still?
They have one
Okay, that's the only one
They
I
have
think
one
I
by
know.
Wilcox High School on Monroe too. Which every time I've been there,
There you
which
go.
I've been about 5 times, there's nobody there. So I don't know how long it'll be there, but
Not a good sign.
Wolfgang Puck still
not a good
keeping
sign.
it afloat, I guess. He still believes in it.
Who?
Right? Is it Wolfgang Puck's thing?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh.
Could be wrong.
But yeah, you can get cauliflower pizza there. You can get regular pizza. They have some good sangria drinks. Anyways, is there only California Pizza Kitchen in California, or is it around?
I think
Based on the name alone, you can't. I mean, hard to franchise it.
No, I think it is. How many?
It's gotta be.
How many?
There
CPK
are currently
locations.
184
That is
as of right
that's
now.
far too many.
It's a lot.
That's
too
far
many.
That's far too many.
No, you're right.
12 international cities and 11 countries. So yeah, they're worldwide. Baby.
Yeah, there's one in Vegas.
Oh.
Look, the further you go in the country, there's not as many. It's a surprising amount in Chicago. They apparently like it. Anyway.
I feel like it's like airport pizza.
It's a step above Sbarro, I think.
No, I mean no. You go
That's
to
classy.
an airport and you will walk by a California Pizza Kitchen.
I get what you mean.
It's airport
It's
pizza.
good airport pizza.
It's your option at the airport for pizza.
But so is Sbarro, though. I don't know.
I don't see Sbarro as much.
No, I don't either.
That used to
Yeah,
be.
that's like
They're
80s.
kind of dying
That
out.
used to be a food court
Staple.
staple. in
Right
a
next to
mall.
the hot dog on a stick.
Yeah.
Well, if
And
you
the
ever
Orange
watched,
Julius.
I've been watching some
Orange
old.
Julius, dude, underrated.
There's a show.
Underrated.
It's good.
I think it's on Paramount, but it's an MTV production where they do stars kids. So they had like Chester Bennington's kid telling stories and stuff. He's like in his 20s now, and they had Joey Fatone's daughter. And they talk about, and most of it's been like the TRL days. So if you watched them in the studio TRL, right behind them is Sbarro. So it was huge then, right? So right on Times Square, they had Sbarro
That's
right
right.
there. So
That's right. I think it's still there. I could be wrong. I thought we were all in.
Telling me at Times Square they're promoting Sbarro?
well, they had a
And
good shot.
Times
Because,
Square
in
is
the-
not the
in
place
the-
to get the finest cuisine in
and
New York
the
City.
pizza capital of the
Right.
of the world?
It's not the place to get a fine dining.
It's like
It's a place for a family to be like, we are exhausted. We've been walking all day. We need to eat.
See, but Sbarro was more than just pizza. You could get the rigatoni.
Yeah, it's true.
You could get the lasagna.
And
you
a
could get the garlic
stromboli, I want to
sticks.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
You could. It was an option. It wasn't a great option, but you could.
You could do
You
it.
could do it.
If you really wanted it.
Nobody did, but you could.
You could. You totally could.
You would basically get a pepperoni slice and be like, I need to get food or
Fast.
I'm gonna pass
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's for.
Shopping at Macy's, or actually probably better yet, maybe like Montgomery Ward or
Maybe
Emporium.
Maybe JC
Sure.
Penney.
JC Penney.
JC Penney.
Yeah, a little Sears.
Sears.
Yeah.
Looking at the
Sears.
dryers.
Yeah.
Good times.
Looking at the dryer, slamming down a Sbarro. Yeah.
With
With an
with Chumbawamba bumping in the store.
Dude, sucking
Simpler
down,
times.
sucking down,
Chumbawamba.
sucking down an Orange Julius, getting ready to go to Sam Goody.
Musicland.
See what's
Oh man, good times.
I remember, I don't know why, out of all the memories, I used to work at the mall, and now we're really going off topic, but I used to work for AT&T selling Nokias, and right across from me was Musicland, and I remember it was right when Let the Bodies Hit the Floor from Drowning Pool came out, and I remember going into the store, and the girl who, she would talk to me, walk by and talk to me, but I walked in there, and she was just like, literally like, Let the Bodies, she was like just killing it in the store, like slam dancing. Still in my head for this day.
At Hot Topic?
No, it was at Musicland.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because Hot Topic, that's where you would go to get your puka shell necklace.
Yeah, well, funny story. She went on to be the founder of Hot Topic. So there you go. This girl who was, she's like, I want a place where I can do this wherever I want, anytime I want, and it's actually they pay me to do
Isn't Torrid a spin-off of Hot Topic?
Yes, it was. Yes, I don't know if it's still around. But
Yeah, I remember.
What?
Yeah.
It was
Torrid.
it was just clothing based
yes,
for larger
it
people.
was plus size.
A Hot Topic is still around.
Yes.
Hot Topic's still a thing.
Yep,
It's still
still around.
popular.
I went in there and looked at the shirts the other day.
Yeah.
I always felt that Hot Topic and like Spencer's were like very similar.
They're still around too.
Yep.
Yeah. Spencer
Spencer-
gets a little bit more on the adult side of things.
Yeah, Spencer's definitely more of the like.
It's like gag gifts and
Yeah. Like, Hot Topic is basically, hey, now you're in college, come to Spencer's. That's what Spencer's is. All Hot Topic kids.
Graduate.
Drop your chain wallets, come get a fuzzy neon poster. That's what you're doing.
Or a plug.
You exchange it.
Yeah.
Or a plug.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
sick.
Yeah. You moved on. Also I noticed in the TRL video there was a place called Blowout Video, and I was going to Google it to see if that was Tom Fish's first endeavor. Before he started Blowout Cards, he was slinging them VHSs. You know what I mean?
Or DVDs.
Yeah, Blowout Video, right? So sure
Everyone's-
it's not there in Times Square anymore. Sure it's closed down, but let's talk football. It was a great week of football, man.
Great
Woo.
week.
It's just a good week besides my fantasy
Good
teams,
Monday.
Wouldn't go straight to good week.
but I mean, great Sunday night game, great Monday
It's
night
entertaining.
game.
And one thing the Rams do is that they will entertain you. They will entertain you. Make your blood pressure go up if you're a fan of the Rams, but they'll entertain you. And that's what it
Are
was.
you not entertained? I mean, that was a really good game. I was on the edge of my seat the whole game, and then you got a little overtime action. You can't complain anymore when you have an over. I mean, the Wednesday game was great. I mean, the Thursday game was great. The Friday game was pretty good all the way to the end too. So I mean, and then I felt like Sunday. A lot of Sunday games were kind of not
Weird.
close. Yeah, not close.
And just a lot of weird games where like I like, especially in the morning, a lot of games where it's like, wow, the Cardinals. Look at the Cardinals. Wow, look at the Titans. A lot of blown leads by teams
Well,
that probably didn't have any
And it was
reason to be
like
winning in those games.
It wasn't like, wow, look at the Saints. It was like, oh no, look at the Panthers.
Oh boy, the Panthers.
Panthers.
Did we expect the Panthers to beat the Saints in New Orleans?
I mean,
no, but
Closer game.
They were.
Yeah.
I mean, it was what 37-3 at half or something like that.
It was, it was done.
It was bad. And dude, the Panthers, they might be like 10 years away from being a good team. Like I don't know that DJ Moore trade that to get Bryce Young
disaster.
might set them back close to a decade.
But it's crazy when you think about it because you had Baker on the Panthers, didn't do anything. Now he looks like he's. We're going to talk about him. Now he looks like, I mean, he was just on all cylinders. I mean, even with the Rams, he did pretty good. He had that game. He didn't even practice, came in. And then you have Sam Darnold over there, and you're like, this guy sucks too. But now he's on Minnesota. They win a game. And so it's like, is Bryce Young going to be good in like 5 years when he's on another team? Like, is it just you got to get out of Carolina at this point? I mean, is it just such a bad organization that's why he sucks?
Their number one receiver is Adam Thielen.
That's a problem in 2024.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
I can't tell you who. Actually, I think it's Miles Sanders who's running the ball for him. They just don't have any talent around. Like, you can't expect much out of Bryce Young.
13 for 30, though.
Because he doesn't have any talent around him.
2 interceptions and 4 sacks.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any talent. And it's also a good point. Like, he doesn't have an offensive line. Like, it isn't going to matter how good Bryce Young is because we're never actually going to see it in a Carolina Panther uniform.
No.
Because he will they'll either draft another quarterback or he'll end up getting traded or something like that. He won't be a Panther.
What do you do with his cards? You just hope?
Yeah, I mean, I don't
just hope.
You
Yeah.
just hope and pray. I mean, and that's what kind of sucks when you look at composite, right? I mean, I'm not totally out on Will Levis, and we'll talk about him here shortly as well. But, like, you've got, Bryce Young and Will Levis as 2 of the main 4 rookies in the top sets because they have, they don't have the Players Association license, so they can only have 4 active players. And I wouldn't say that I would choose anybody different, but now, with so many Bryce Young cards coming out of composite, so many Will Levis. Yes, there is C.J. Stroud. He had a great game. AR had a great game. So you've got those at least. But, like, you got to be like, ooh, that's tough to see so many of these cards, especially I don't know how many more 2023 releases we're going to come out. I know Motif is coming out, and that's going to be heavy with these guys as well. And that kind of sucks. I mean, Bryce Young, I mean, you got to hope. Who's Carolina playing this weekend?
The Carolina Panthers are playing I want to say it's the Chargers.
It doesn't matter.
I want to say
It doesn't.
it is the Chargers.
I mean, they almost lost by 50 to the Saints, and the Saints aren't even that good. So
Chargers go to Carolina.
They're gonna
Jim Harbaugh gonna run it down their throats.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen
with the former Ravens back.
Right, with J.K. Dobbins
and Gus
suddenly
and Gus Edwards.
Right. Yeah, what the hell's going on there?
Tandem.
And it worked. I mean,
it worked.
So
I guess Trevor in the chat says same thing I do with my Justice Winslow cards. Forget I bought them.
That's kind of where we're at.
It's still a little early, I guess, for Bryce Young. But I mean, after last season, you wanted at least. I had been okay with the loss, knowing that they're probably gonna lose in New Orleans. But you'd like to see him to have like 2 or 3 touchdowns,
If they had lost that game
going.
like 47-28,
yeah,
you'd feel like, well, that's still a really bad loss. And maybe Bryce Young goes 240 with a touchdown in there too. You go, it's not great, but I can take
3 points.
They
scored 3 points.
3.
There had to have been some backups in there.
Almost 50.
It was bad.
So you can't basically go back to the film and be like, well, there's a bright spot, our offense. No, there wasn't.
There was nothing.
The defense, no, not bright.
Nothing.
There was nothing good. Now, granted, the silver lining is that it's one game.
Yep.
It's one game, first game of the season. We never know. Like, they can basically play the Chargers, and Bryce Young could, because he had flashes last year at point that, like, you're like, okay, that's why they took him number 1. There wasn't a lot of them. There wasn't a lot of like, he's got it. But again, he just doesn't have any talent around him. You look at like C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud has all the talent around him.
Yeah.
So that's why he looks good. I mean, he has
They're
many
building
weapons.
a young team there, and it's funny. It's really, you got 2 teams kind of in 2 former Baker Mayfield teams in very similar scenarios right now. Now, Browns have a very good defense. They're going to probably be they're a better team than what they were on Sunday. I think that. But they're also like, boy, if Deshaun Watson doesn't work out, we're screwed. We mortgaged our entire future. And the Panthers did the same looking even worse. By the way, I do have I'm looking at Bryce Young sales. A 3 of 5 gold vinyl, quick guess that price, sold on August 19th before the season. Had 71 bids to PSA 10. Any thoughts of a preseason?
3,200.
$11,370.
Oh my God! Send that guy a gift card or something. Send him some CPK.
Send him an 84-star Jordan.
Jeez,
that's tough. That's tough.
Oh God.
And I can tell you, the big sales on Bryce Young stuff have quickly come to a halt.
I bet.
People
Yeah.
are either holding or they're just like whatever I can get at this point.
I mean,
But-
that game was worst case scenario.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
think it was
I mean,
bad.
I think
there wasn't
if you're invested in Bryce Young,
Yep.
your butt's puckering. Yeah.
my reaction right now is I'm holding.
Yeah.
Well,
You
you
have
can't
to.
do anything else.
You
I mean,
have
what
Well,
are
I
you gonna
mean,
do?
There's nothing
but-
else you can do.
I'll cut it
Well, I
up.
mean, no, you could sell. You can just be like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm just gonna take my loss and move on.
liquidate with some kind of hope.
Yep.
Yeah, it's.
Because if you do hold, it could get a lot worse.
I mean, I will say this though. They are not going to move on from him quickly because it would look so bad. Because they've pretty much they pushed their chips all in on him with the fact that they could have got Caleb Williams the next year, with the fact they traded DJ Moore.
But
like I don't even know if they move on and past the season. I think they try to build around him and make the excuse that they didn't have any pieces around him.
I think he goes this year. He's the guy. I think next year, he's the guy. I think year 4 is where you're like, if he has not done anything, he's probably not the guy.
Yeah.
Then you're probably drafting a quarterback, and you're probably not having a conversation with Bryce Young and his agent about his extension.
Probably was silly to say, hey, let's trade all of our draft picks, get this QB at number 1, and then, oops, we have no draft picks to build an actual team around this guy.
And in the same draft that
Probably
C.J.
silly.
Stroud went.
Right.
So.
And then on top of that, you feel like, did we take the wrong guy? Did we get, anyway.
Well,
I mean, I know size was always the question, and I know people might chat today. It's easy to point this out as, well, his line needs to be smaller so he can see over it. And I mean, I know it's a low-hanging fruit, but I mean, we've had Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy's not very tall.
How much bigger is C.J. Stroud than Bryce Young, frankly? He might be a little bulkier, but I don't think they're that much of a difference. I could be completely
I mean, Kyler Murray's got to be smaller than
Right.
Bryce Young, right?
I think Kyler Murray and Bryce Young are about the same size. I think C.J. Stroud is a prototypical
Oh,
like
yeah,
6'4",
well,
6'5".
never mind. I'm wrong on that. Yeah, I don't know why he looks a little smaller.
But
no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's considerably
5'10".
bigger than him.
5'10".
I also think, and that's 5'10" on the internet.
Yeah, he's
Right.
5'9", 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
Very well could be 5'9", 5'8".
Yep.
I don't think he's 5'8".
Might be Jose Altuve singing the ball out there.
Yeah, Kyler Murray's 5'10" too, says. So
yeah.
they're supposedly the same height.
Yeah, and look, and we've seen flashes of brilliance from Kyler.
Kyler Murray at times has looked like an MVP caliber quarterback.
Yes.
Doug Flutie, 5'10". Has there been a successful quarterback under the height of 5'10"?
I don't think so.
No. I
I
don't know
don't-
if there's anyone even played the position.
I
It's
don't-
that small. I mentioned that gold vinyl, Bryce Young, $11,000. You could buy a raw Baker Mayfield gold vinyl from his rookie season. It sold best offer. It was listed at $1,800. So what? Maybe that sold for
13.
13 to 15, maybe. So, yeah, that feels like a smarter buy right now.
Yeah.
Feels like a better buy.
I mean, I love Baker, but I think we know what we got in Baker.
Yeah.
I think Baker just isn't.
I don't.
He isn't the flavor of the month anymore. Like
this
there's
weird?
still. It makes no sense that somebody would spend $11,000
Yeah, no.
on a Bryce Young
No.
and not spend $1,300 on a Baker Mayfield, except for the fact that what is Baker Mayfield going to do to make that $1,300 card go up?
Win a Super Bowl.
I mean, he made the playoffs
Yeah,
last year.
Okay,
but are the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl?
Are
No.
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to win the Super Bowl?
No. But a lot of it is also contingent on,
Right.
is Baker Mayfield maybe better than we all kind of thought? Maybe we're not giving him a. I looked at the stats and I'm like, did we? Maybe we're writing him off. Maybe we all wrote him off too soon. I know I did. He threw for over 4,000 yards last year.
It
was his
doesn't.
best year.
It doesn't help that Baker Mayfield has played for 4 teams.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
That
Although
mean- that
two
means-
of those happened in a weird bridge here where he was trying to figure out his career again.
Well, it also makes you think like it isn't the quarterback position for the Panthers that's the problem.
No,
It's the front office that they can't, because
yeah.
Baker hasn't become a better quarterback since being a Panther, but his stat line is a lot better. So you got to think like it's either the talent that the Panthers are putting around him, or is it somebody who's calling plays?
Well, remember when McCaffrey was there, he was like getting 70% of the plays. Like literally every play
And
ran
they-
through McCaffrey.
And they had Cam Newton.
for a
And
little
they
bit of
had
that time.
a really
Yeah.
good Cam Newton.
Yeah.
A really good Cam.
So Baker Mayfield, are we buying now?
I mean, I low key really like Baker Mayfield right now.
You know who might be a good buy, and I've said it before on this podcast. And I really think right now might be a good time. Jameis Winston.
Oh,
For Cleveland?
Oh,
I see. I'm
Because
giving
that team is good. That team is
a good team.
That is a good football team.
look what that team did with Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Deshaun Watson may be completely, absolutely checked out of wanting to play football.
I was going to say he looked like that. He did not look like anything, and maybe week one humbled him. You also, dude, that as much as it pains me to say, that Cowboys defense is really good. That Cowboys defense was really good on Sunday.
Really talented team.
And Diggs
They're
is
good,
back.
but that was a good matchup.
It was a good matchup.
Those are
it should have been close.
Those are two teams that are talent-wise pretty close to each other.
Right.
And you look at it and go like, for that game, if they would have got better quarterback play out of Deshaun Watson, do they have an opportunity of winning that game? At least they have an opportunity of making that game
He didn't have
close.
a lot of time, though, too, to be fair. So I don't know what Cleveland's done in the offseason as far as getting some linemen. I don't know where they rank, but you don't have Nick Chubb. Who's running the ball over there? Jerome Ford. So I mean, if they get Chubb back in week 8, maybe if they're at least 4-4 at that time, maybe they can make a run. Amari Cooper missed the pass. I mean, it wasn't a great pass, but missed the pass. David Njoku went down as well. Didn't play the rest of the game, and he had some early passes. So I mean, I don't know. I'm waiting one more week to see Deshaun Watson, even though I did drop him in one of my fantasy teams, but he was my second quarterback. I'm waiting to see.
I think
if
it's
Watson
time.
can do
I
it.
think it's time to go out and get your famous Jameis on.
Man, that would be something.
Eating W's.
For what it's worth, Baker Mayfield silver. I'm looking at like a PSA 9. This sold in July, so I'm sure they're going up.
It's a very tricky card.
Yeah, it's yes. Silver auto PSA 9 did sell for about $140 in July.
And the issue with that is it's extremely undervalued.
Right. Super.
Because I think that was the year where you only got one silver per box.
And on top of that, that's an auto, so it seems super duper.
But
yeah.
The silvers might be more rare than the autos, actually.
Yeah, I think the silvers.
True.
I think the silver. We have a silver.
I don't even see the
release. We had a silver.
We had like a 3 of 6 optic too that I think I put in the buyback.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not even seeing the silvers on the recent.
Well, yeah,
sales.
you
So
literally.
that
I mean,
kinda
you got
tells you.
one silver per box in 2018.
Right.
So, and I don't think that people hold that value on the silvers as much as they should. Like Lamar Jackson silvers and Baker Mayfield silvers should go through the roof, and Josh Allen as well, right?
Well, Sam Darnold too.
Okay, well, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
I mean,
Sam Darnold had one.
You got to win.
I know he's a forever Niner. I know.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what. If you wanted to catch that moment of Sam Darnold, you're going to sell this week because it's clearly going to be a loss this
Speaking
weekend.
of,
oh no, it's a revenge game.
It's a revenge game.
It's a revenge game.
Speaking of catching that moment, Jordan Mason, you can buy. Let's see. I just saw a. There it is. Contenders playoff ticket auto number to 99. $375.
Did that sell Friday when he was announced that he's going to be the starter?
That sold on Monday night after the game. Now, who knows? It was a buy now. Who knows if that happened? But still.
YG, our young Greg, our breaker, I guess he had bought one a couple years ago for $8, just a base, and sold it for $100.
Good Lord.
So, I mean, talk about FOMO. I mean, I like the kid. I guess it just all depends on CMC's outlook of how injured he is, because apparently it's Achilles tendonitis now. So they might sideline him for a few more weeks. But he had 29 carries. Jordan Mason had 29 carries.
Yeah.
Niner running backs get hurt a lot. So I mean, we go through a lot of running backs.
It's a lot of carries.
Seeing a
29 carries is a pretty
lot.
substantial
The most
workload.
any running back has ever had since Kyle Shanahan's been the coach is apparently the stat I saw.
Yeah.
Could not
Well,
believe
if you
that.
watch the game, the Jets couldn't stop the running.
So he's just
they
said,
couldn't stop anybody who's running the ball.
He just kept hitting the run. Yeah, just up the gut. Just run. Yeah. Probably a better indicator. $186. One sold today, a base rookie ticket auto. raw, $186 for after 38 bids that sold today. That's probably better. It's still insane. It's still insane.
That's crazy. That's actually surprising.
And the
186.
The only way you're going to come up on that is if you're like Greg, where he's just like, well, I'm just going to buy guys from my team for low cost because I just like, what the heck? Maybe something happens.
Maybe gets a touchdown sometime.
Yeah, I mean, that is just complete. Like, who knows? It's great. Like, it's great for him. Great story. Hope it happens again in Minnesota. Going to be tough to catch lightning in a bottle again. But also, I'm not going to ever discount a Kyle Shanahan offense with just a guy off the street. Well, he's not a guy off the street, but, like, you know what I mean. Like,
undrafted.
Yeah. I mean, well, he kind of was a guy off the street. So, look what
I mean, at the beginning of the year, I was talking about this with the wife earlier, that the beginning of the year, they wasn't even sure he was going to make the roster.
Yeah.
So, we had Matt Breida. We had a couple other guys in that spot.
That's what I thought it was. I remember Matt Breida getting picked up. So
and there was another running back. Well, Mitchell got hurt. He's on IR.
Yeah.
So we cleared up a spot there. But he was playing for his life in preseason.
Yeah.
So maybe, actually, I was talking to you about that, or he was, seasoned compared to a lot of other guys in the first week that didn't play at all. You know what I mean? So he was ready to go. And
sounds like you guys rather have him than Christian McCaffrey. That's interesting.
Well, it makes me question. It shows you how great that offensive line is, and that third round pick in Dominic Pooney. I think we got another All-Star Hall of Famer already in the works.
I gotta go.
So, when you draft well,
it must be week one.
An All-Star Hall of Famer. Okay,
Pro Bowler, of course, but I mean, I don't think he's gonna play baseball.
So he basically like maybe 70 snaps, 80 snaps, and we're putting him into the Hall of Fame?
Only one pressure in 90 snaps. So
yeah,
and he didn't allow any pressures in preseason.
And the Jets' defense looked terrible. Their Jets' defense looked terrible.
They didn't look good. They looked gassed. I mean, I was also wondering what the stat line is for the first game of the season when somebody has to travel a large amount of distance on the first game of the season to play a team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, more than just a few states over. Like, you have to go.
They gotta go to the other coast.
The other coast, you're not necessarily conditioned. A lot of these guys didn't play at all, and they have to go across coast and play. I wonder. I wonder what the stat line is.
They have an extra day, and an
extra week. Really.
And an extra week.
Yeah. True.
I feel like it would be better.
Yeah, I agree. That's why the Rams lost.
Yeah,
they had to go to Detroit.
I do feel like it would be an advantage, like not an advantage, but like I feel like if I was on a team that had to be like, all right, we know we have to make that like East Coast to West Coast or vice versa a couple times a year. If I could knock it out the first couple weeks, be like, yeah, I'll take that. Give me that. Like I'll take my chances. It's like I think that it's. Like
I think it would be a lot worse if like
middle of the season.
Middle of the season, and they basically like say the Jets had to play the Niners on the road, and then like the next week they had to play like Tampa Bay on the road. Yeah. Like that's rough, but it happens. I mean, there's a lot of teams that like that's how the schedule works out.
Yeah. Well, this is a perfect segue because I don't know if it's a home or a road game, but the Jets are playing the Titans. So Will Levis obviously lost the game for them. Literally lost the game for the Titans.
Went down to his
snatched
knees.
Snatched defeat from the jaws of victory there on that pass.
Yep.
Bill Belichick talked about it, and he was like, when I was coaching, he said I would always talk to Tom about like, okay, you're in the clutches, and you're going to throw the ball 2 yards, right? You're going to make a hard throw for 2 yards. What's the gain? 2 yards. What's the worst case scenario? You lose the game. So don't make the throw, right? Don't make the throw. Take the sack. We'll punt it. We'll do whatever we need to do. But you've got to risk assess in that situation. And what he did was just flinging the ball out to the left side, not even probably looking.
Young quarterback.
Young quarterback. I get it.
Tom Brady very well could make that type of decision in year 2 of his career.
Yeah, that's a learning experience for sure.
Jets are at home. Okay, so yeah, and they're gonna be freaking hungry. They're apparently Robert Saleh said there was nothing wrong, just the game plan that we executed better than they did. So they feel like all is well in New York, and they're going to be a good team anyway. So, but they're going to take it out of the Titans.
I'll tell you right now, the Jets don't make the playoffs this year, I don't think Robert Saleh is going to be the coach.
No, I think they. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they gave him a lot of chances.
I think he is on the hot seat. They need to make the playoffs.
He's still a good coach. I would still believe in him.
I'm not
going to
go. He might be a good coordinator.
Maybe.
Maybe
he has turned that defense around. They went from being like 32 to in the top 5 last year and the year before, of course. But
they gave up 170 yards to an undrafted free agent. You could not.
Niners are at another level though. So it's hard.
But you can't leave that game and be like, that's that. Giving up that many yards on defense is not a positive.
No.
You can't.
We executed
for a defense that's supposed to be top 5, top 3, maybe even in the NFL. They're not. No, you're right.
So what do you do with Will Levis's cards? Are you just being like that was a rookie mistake? Because the other side of the field, Caleb Williams throws 95 yards.
He wasn't good.
And the Jets, I mean, was there like 2 defensive touchdowns in that game or something like that from the Bears? Or kick return touchdown?
Yeah, if you want to squint and say, okay, Caleb Williams did get the 2-point conversion, so there's that. But it's like, okay, sure. But, yeah, it wasn't a great game. So he's still –
his team won.
His team won. Good for him.
He had a horrible I mean, they won, so, yeah, it doesn't matter. But he had a horrible, running back, trying to scramble, and it was like a 15-yard loss because he's just trying to do something.
He had some tough moments.
But for Will Levis, who's had a year under his belt and had some starts under his belt, to lose in that scenario, that's tough.
I think that's still a wait and see for both guys. I don't think there was such a strange game that I'd say more for Will Levis. You can't make those mistakes like that. If you're gonna be that difference maker, you gotta not make those mistakes. Real quick, because I know we gotta run here soon. I think it's fair to say if we're talking the biggest hobby L of the week, biggest hobby loss of the week, Jordan Love being out potentially 3 to 6 weeks.
That can turn into a W.
Malik Willis.
It
We do
could
need
turn
some
into a
2022.
W.
We do need some 2022 guys.
I'm not holding my breath.
No.
Let's put it that way.
Poor guy had to come in though with 5 seconds left.
I mean, we cannot judge how Malik Willis is going to be doing in the next couple of weeks based on that last play in the Green Bay game.
Can we talk about how terrible that field was too? It was a perfect ending that Malik Willis fell on the throw because guys were just literally on slip and slides the whole game.
Is it time to get rid of the international series?
Well, how often is the London and games and stuff? I feel like there was
the London games are fine.
I was gonna say
the Mexico game had to be moved to L.A. because the turf was so bad.
Yeah, then they're always gonna deal with crazy elevation issues too.
That was the classic Monday night game, Rams Chiefs, where they scored both teams went completely off, but they literally had to move that game to L.A.
Yeah.
Next 6 weeks for the Packers, Colts or in Green Bay for the Colts, at Tennessee.
That's a win.
Vikings at home.
That's maybe a win.
In L.A. against the Rams.
Loss.
At Green Bay against the Cardinals. And at Green Bay against the Texans.
Rams by 120.
So best case scenario, they split that.
That's best case scenario.
Even though I will tell you right now, it feels like the Rams have played Green Bay for the last 10 years in a row.
It's like the Cowboys too for us.
I just can't stop playing it, and they beat up on the Rams. I don't know what it is about Green Bay, but Green Bay, they do the opposite against the Niners. Yeah. But when they play the Rams, they really, really show up.
That's to me, I see minimum 3 losses there, potentially more. It could be one of those where it's like this might be the season. I hate to say that week 1, but that might be the season. If he's out 6 weeks.
I thought he was out 4.
Well, they're saying 3 to 6.
Oh, but they did put him on IR.
Yeah. So if he goes the full 6.
If you go on IR, you're a minimum of 4 weeks. Minimum 4 games.
If he goes that full 6, that's going to be tough.
It sucked because you don't.
And so many people were investing in him this offseason. He was maybe the number 1 quarterback, I feel like, that was getting a lot
Such a tough situation. I mean, you obviously want your guy to try to win. There was 11 seconds left. Probably, that they have that margin of victory thing that pops up. They probably had a 0.5% chance of he trying to win this game, and he's out there, on a slippery field trying to throw this ball, and then they roll in his ankle, and it's like,
but you're not.
It's 11 seconds left.
But what the other options are? run the ball and just give up.
Yeah,
kneel
I
down,
know,
give
I
up.
know.
Bring in Malik Willis to try to win the game and save. And the thing is that Jordan Love wasn't coming out of that game, and Jordan Love was going to try to win that game. And what happened happened.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably be thankful that you guys didn't have to play that Brazil game, because instead of like 8 injuries, you'd probably have about 25.
Yeah,
So
we had a lot. We have
might fire that strength and conditioning coach, man. He's not giving those vitamins out right.
We
He's not doing the stretching.
We had three or four players that hit IR. 4 weeks. So
sucks, man.
Week
That's
one.
just not even fair.
it's fine. I mean, it's next man up. You know, we're still good.
Yep.
We signed him again. We signed Akilo Witherspoon again.
Yeah.
Forever Ram. He's so good that
31 other teams didn't want him.
That 31 other teams basically all offseason did not want him. He sat at home waiting for the Rams to give him a call
That's
again.
right. He knew. He knows his role.
So yeah, we got him back. And I'm pretty excited. Number 44.
Yeah.
Yep, he'll probably be out there on week 3, right? You know, covering Debo or Ayuk.
And granted, like, Niner fans know this. Like, he will put some good ball out.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
He'll play. Then you'll get that one play where, like,
He's like 20 yards off the receiver.
he'll just basically slip and fall, and it's like an 80-yard touchdown. And you're just like, what? How do you look this good, but then look this bad in a span of 10 minutes?
Yeah, he'll make like a crazy diving pass deflection to save a touchdown,
and then he'll basically just slip and fall and give up an 80-yard touchdown.
Kind of like what's his name from the former Bill on your team?
Tre'Davious White?
He didn't fall, but
No, you mean I like to call him Akilo Witherspoon 2.0, and we got both of them.
Let's need some strong linebacker play. Is Aaron Donald around? I could call him up. He's fast still.
Don't worry, because if the Rams are competitive and have a chance at a playoff run, don't worry. The great AD will be back.
How about Eric Waddle? What's he doing?
Eric Weddle?
Whatever.
Yeah. But I actually can see this happening for the next 2 to 3 years with Aaron Donald. I have a feeling that
he's barely 33, 34.
Yeah, he's gonna come back. He'll be like he'll sign in like week 15, week 16.
Yeah.
Do a little playoff run action.
He's going to do the defensive version of the Favre retirement, where it's like, well, I think this is it. You know what? Second thought.
The only thing I don't want to see,
like 5
and it'll crush me, is if like he ends up coming back and signing with the Niners.
Heck yeah.
That would just
hell yeah.
Roster's too stacked for his old house.
I'd probably have to just be like, I'm done
could you
football.
imagine somebody goes down on the Niner D line? Hey, Aaron, what you up to, buddy?
Yeah.
What you up to?
Yeah. Come on in. They're gonna have pictures of him like bench pressing, I don't know, like 20,000 pounds or
Although
something.
that is kind of like it would almost set up like, what if then the Niners go on to win a Super Bowl with him? It almost sets up a scenario a reverse KD scenario where it's like,
I'll just be like, the only way you guys wouldn't be able to do it without Aaron Donald.
Rams fans can always have
which
that.
is already true. I'm already writing it down.
If that happens, you're right. Rams fans will always be like, yeah, but you couldn't have done it without our guy. So,
you're right. No parade.
The parade has to happen in L.A.
The parade has to happen in L.A.
Which, boy,
with Aaron Donald with no shirt on, just pounding tequila.
Chances that would draw more than a Rams parade in
Okay,
L.A.
I think we got it.
We'll leave you guys on that one, and I'll revel in the Week 1 victory. We'll see what happens next week. But check out Mojobreak.com for all your upcoming breaks. Bowman Chrome, Motif Football. We still got Composite rocking, Spectra Basketball, all breaking at Mojobreak.com, and we'll see you on next week's side. Peace.